Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and it's that time of the month again. We are getting a new mythic. This time it is Scotty from Glacial Peaks. She is in Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for this week only, and then she will be in the drop pool with everything else. So she is a extremely Frozen related troop, as well as really good with any pure blue team. Probably going to be used with blue Guild Wars quite a bit. So if we go to that, click show unown, that should bring her up. And what does she do? She freezes and mana burns the first two enemies, boosted by her magic, which is just the standard amount that any mana burn would boost by. I'm not even sure why it says that, because mana burn already implies that that would happen. And then she pushes them to the back, which is kind of interesting, because this could make her one of the very first really viable late game options that has the capability of moving something on the opposing team. Not only that, but she has a double move, which, if I'm not mistaken, she is the only thing that can basically move the entire team, because it's moving four things. It's moving the first two, and then moving them all the way to the back. I'm not sure what specific order she places them in, but that is definitely very, very interesting. It also seems to be a pretty good skull counter, too, because normally if you're using a skull spam team, your first two troops, particularly your first one, of course, are the ones that are oriented most towards a skull. Your third troop is probably a mana generator, and your fourth troop is probably a skull spammer. So you're basically bringing their weakest two in a skull spam team all the way to the front. So really interesting. And on top of all that, she summons a Queen Mab, which of course we all know is excessively annoying. Queen Mab has the ability to freeze. They also share some relatively similar traits. They both have immune to frozen. They both have arcane, gaining more magic whenever anything on the team casts. And the main thing that's going to make her always viable, regardless of anything, is once you get her fully traded, she creates a perpetual ice storm, same as the Umber Wolf that does it for purple. She does it for blue, so that alone will probably make her pretty viable on blue Guild War days. The only problem with her colors, though, is it does have overlap with a Queen Mab. It uses blue and purple, which are the two Queen Mab colors, as well as a yellow. Overall, though, she should still be pretty viable, not only for her ability, but for her final trait there to get the perpetual blue storm. In most instances, I probably would stick with the Queen Mab, but for Guild War purposes, I could definitely see her being a nice utility. So, let's go see if we can get her from keys. Oh yeah, we finally get to use the new 200 key option. Actually, can we even 200 key from VIPs? I don't think we can, no. That'd be amazing if we could. But let's just go into these. Hopefully we will get lucky enough. I'm just gonna hit through them because we will be here forever if we sit through 200 of these. And no. Oh, well, we got a winter imp. But yeah, that's like, oh gosh, we've got enough winter imps just during this winter to basically mythic our own winter imp. Yeah, I'm still missing the other one. Okay, well, anyways, nothing really too interesting there, though we did get Borealis, which is from the same kingdom. Not that interesting, though, since we already have Queen Mab and stuff, and already have all of them maxed. Well, let's go do this again. I think I will leave the last little few. Hey, we got Merlion first twice in a row. Did we get it? There we go. That's what I want to see. 0 VIP keys being needed. Got it within the first 400. And what's pretty nice about her, too, is we do not need to get multiple copies of her. Because the biggest value that you're really getting from her is the fact that she perpetually creates an ice storm. Having multiple of this won't do anything to additional effect. There is one thing I want to go do real quick after we go and level her, see what trait stone she needs and everything. And I want to see what happens if we have 2 of them on a team. Not 2 of her, obviously, because we don't have 2 of her. But 2 of a thing that instantly creates a storm at the beginning of a battle. So basically, Umber Wolf plus her. Like many things in this game, I believe it triggers in top left to bottom right order. So whoever is the most towards the bottom of our team, I believe, is the storm that triggers. So let me just go double check that. Oh, it takes yellow, blue, and purple blue. So that's Glacial Peaks and Sword's Edge would be where you would go to farm those 2 trait stones if you still need them to trade her. Also, she is one of those kind of troops, one of those kind of mythics that you basically have to fully trade her for her to be viable, as a good majority of her value does come from her actually having the snowstorm. If you don't have her fully traded, you're probably better off just sticking with a fully traded Queen Mab for now. Not to mention, she summons a Queen Mab. Anyways, let me go test that real quick. So let's just go to a random challenge, go put it in a random team. It doesn't even matter what it is, we're just leaving the battle anyways. Just go put it into a team. So what should happen here, let's just, doesn't even matter what the team is, just put that in, get a Scotty, and get a Umber Wolf. So this should create, let me see, Umber Wolf, why must so many things have the word number in it? There we go. So if we do it like this, it should create a blue storm. And if we do it like that, it should create a purple storm. But let's just go and double check it just in case, just so we know. I highly doubt you would ever need to use both of these on your team, but I am curious. So as you can see, the purple storm is what is triggered. The reason for this is all traits in this game. While there are very few instances of it, they do trigger from top left to bottom right order. It's also why you should always put your Corvash in first slot, not only because it has leadership, but also because if you're using, let's say, a Queen Mab with it, you can still freeze, you can still simultaneously freeze and stun an enemy at the exact same time, because the stun triggers before the freeze does. But if your Queen Mab is in front of your Corvash because it got moved or for whatever reason, it will freeze it first, which will hit the insulated, and then it will stun it, which will still leave it stunned, but it won't leave it freezed. But yeah, so if we go and, just to show, if we go switch this now, we can change this to make it into a purple storm simply by switching their two positions. And yeah, there aren't too many things in the game that do work like this, but do keep that in mind. Traits do work from top left to bottom right order. You can kind of see at the beginning of the battle, but this also keeps perpetually going for the entire battle with any traits that trigger. It always goes from the top left, 1, 2. It always goes in the order of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So you can see, since it's behind it, we get the purple storm now instead of the blue storm. But yes, that is the new troop of Scotty. Let's see, I didn't even check what its damage output is. So it's 26 damage plus whatever their mana is what she is completely maxed out. That's not too bad. I believe that's slightly higher than Queen Mab, if I'm not mistaken, not by much. But Queen Mab's still going to be way more damage because it mana burns everything and automatically gains an extra turn, and it's lower mana cost. But yeah, definitely a good utility. I'm going to probably be using it quite a bit for shuffling up the enemy team. Other than on Blue Guild War Day, though, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more situational on when you would actually bother using it in PvP. But for Guild Wars, I could definitely see that being basically, if you have it, almost using it every blue day, as a good majority of teams would likely synergize pretty well with a perpetual blue storm. Almost every team on a Guild War day would fend pretty well with a perpetual storm of its color. But anyways, guys, that is the new Skadi. We will be going over quite a bit in the streams later today, as well as in the video going over specific team videos. But if you still have any other questions about anything, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoy the holidays, and I will see you all later. Goodbye, everyone.